No, Russell Rowe. He's no Russell Crowe. Okay. So after we watched the first Gladiator, we went to see early screening of Gladiator II in IMAX. So this is also directed by Ridley Scott, starring Paul Mescal, Pedro Pascal, Denzel Washington, and Connie Nielsen. Lucius enters the Colosseum after powerful emperors conquer his home. After watching Gladiator for the first time, what are your impressions of Gladiator II? What were your expectations going into it, and what did you think of it overall?
I didn't really have much expectation, especially like the first Gladiator, like flat out dead. Like, right? Like you really can't expect anything else like happening like with him. And I obviously it's Gladiator 2, so you know it's gonna be another Gladiator, but I guess I would have imagined like a parallel story, a similar story of the Gladiator.
Yeah.
On revenge, right? I'm fine with it, but not like not like
I'm
not very crazy about this idea, because Maximus killed the king, so the kid
emperor
can be the emperor. And how the heck did you just lost the little boy and the little boy become a gladiator? Kind of a stretch for me. Did it actually explain why she would keep him like out of?
Yeah, it shows in a flashback in it where she has him leave the
For what
city.
reason?
He's like the next in line to be emperor, and
Yeah.
there's no one to protect him, like, because people are going to be after him. Like, Maximus isn't there anymore to protect him. And yeah, it's kind of like a hand-wavy way to create a sequel. Like,
yeah, there are. Sorry, and there were a lot of flashbacks.
Yeah.
They add those flashbacks to make the story make sense.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Okay, so I'll start with my positives, what I liked about it. I think the plot to this is better than the first Gladiator.
I knew you would say that.
I ended up liking this movie more than I thought I would, but it's just like so much going on plot-wise with it.
A very full story.
I was surprised.
Yeah.
Like, I figured this was just going to be just pretty straightforward, like the first movie.
One,
but
which I would have been disappointed if that was the case.
Yeah, and that's why, that's the main thing why I like this more, or not more than Gladiator, but more than I was expecting.
Yeah.
Denzel Washington was fantastic in this. I think he's like the MVP of it.
Yeah,
Have you ever watched Denzel Washington before in anything?
I feel like he looked familiar, but I really don't remember seeing him in anything.
He's considered like one of the greatest living actors.
Oh, really?
And I haven't watched anything of his in years, because he was in just like the Equalizer movies and like these dramas I wasn't interested in. But man, he's like looking good. He's acting. He like kills it in this role. Like,
his character is good.
His character is good, and that's part of the plot. Like, you don't know where this dude stands.
Yeah, like it feel like you changed your perception of him a few times in the movie.
Exactly.
Too, yeah.
And he's just one of those complex characters that it's like I can kind of see his perspective in some things,
sure.
And you know,
I'm just surprised that they make the master character, slave master character, like so full. Like they really emphasized on on him. I think throughout the movie.
Yeah, I mean, well, you got Denzel Washington. Yeah, the emperors, the villains in this, I thought they were okay. I kind of like that kind of, I don't know, it's kind of gay coded.
It's definitely is. But I like this kid who played the king. We've seen him.
Which one? I mean, they're twins.
Like in real life?
Well, they are.
What?
So they are sort of, just like the first one, they're kind of like loosely based on actual people. Okay. And there's like twin emperors, I think, and they're known as Romulus and Remus.
Yeah.
You know, like Alien Romulus, the spaceship with Romulus and Remus.
Yeah.
Which one did you like? The one had his brain riddled with syphilis, or the other one?
The other one.
Oh yeah, that's Joseph Quinn. He was in that last Quiet Place movie we watched. And he was Eddie Munson in Stranger Things, the guy with the...
Oh yeah. I think that's where
that was his breakout role.
Yeah, that's where I know him from, and I like him. His character a little wild. I think he is. I don't know if that was like what it's supposed to be, but his version of King is definitely way more crazy and inappropriate than Joaquin Phoenix character,
Oh
right?
yeah, that's one thing I noticed about this movie. Like, Ridley Scott, he's like 85 now, still making these fucking movies like every year. And I think like after watching this movie, I feel like Ridley Scott just discovered cocaine for the first time at the age of 85 because, and now I'll get more into it, but this seems like much more like I talked about Maximus being like stoic and stuff. People are not fucking stoic in this movie. Like, they're fucking crazy.
They're crazy.
He's like screaming and there's that part where Russell Crowe's Maximus doesn't kill that one dude. The dude here, he just chops that motherfucker's head off like nothing. So
yeah, I'm like, I was looking for mercy here, and obviously there was no mercy.
Joseph Quinn and also Fred Hitching, he's in a lot of stuff too. He was in the first season of White Lotus.
Which one?
That's the twin brother.
Okay.
And he was in that one grandma movie I watched earlier this year, and that was really good. That's a really good movie, you know. Yeah. And what do you think of Paul Mescal, the main character, the gladiator, as Lucius?
He fine. He okay. He a pretty boy.
He's okay. So he's not in these type of movies usually. He's like a A24 soft boy. Like, he's in A24 indie movies and stuff. This is like his first.
Okay, I do feel like this boy is a little too pretty to be a gladiator.
I could see it, but I like.
Yeah. I mean, now like obviously he looks like one after all the look and the armor and stuff.
Yeah, he's no Russell Rowe. He's no Russell Crowe. Okay. But I thought he did pretty good. I mean, like, it didn't really show him off in the trailers and stuff. I thought he did pretty well for...
The trailer didn't
Well,
okay, this whole time I thought Pascal is the new gladiator from the trailer. The whole time.
Really?
Yes! Until you told me he's just another character.
Yeah.
There's someone else that's the gladiator. I'm like, what? Did it even show his face in the trailer?
It showed the gladiator.
Okay, then I guess I just didn't really pay much attention. Like, I have a hard time remembering his face.
Okay, all right.
I'm sorry, because he just looked kind of just like
a dude.
A generic pretty boy.
Okay. What do you think of Pedro Pascal in it? Like, his character also adds to the more complex plot to this movie.
I don't know. I like Pedro Pascal.
Funny thing is that Pedro Pascal and the emperor that you liked in here, they're going to be in the Fantastic Four movie together.
Which I will be watching.
Yep.
I didn't really care for his character.
Pedro Pascal?
Yeah. Didn't really care for the acting either. I'm sorry.
Oh, damn.
Like, as soon as I don't know. Maybe it's just like I said, this whole time I thought he was Gladiator. And when he's not, when he's someone else, it kind of messes with my head. I'm like, it just didn't feel like it's real.
Just a general?
I feel like it's out of character. Like, I thought he was the gladiator.
I thought he was good, and I liked his role in it. It served a pretty good purpose, too.
It does serve a good purpose. Without
it
his
adds the
role,
complexity to the plot that I liked about it. So
yeah, whatever.
Two things I didn't like. Like, glaring things. They made Lucius as Maximus' biological child,
which wasn't the case in the first one.
No, they didn't hint to it or anything in the first one. So this is like a retcon, and it's kind of sucks, I think, because they're always talking about honor and stuff. So you're saying Maximus cheated on his wife?
Wait, is it possible that they had the kids before?
Because he had a son with his wife that was the same age. So timeline-wise, he fucked around on his wife.
Accident happens. That shit happens.
And I think it is unnecessary. That's like the member berries of this. Like,
yeah,
he has to be Maximus's son. No, he doesn't.
No, like, you can't honor like a hero that you met when you were a kid. That's like a hero in your head.
Yeah, it's like the movement of Maximus, like his ideal.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be a biological son. Like, what is it? The fucking gladiator DNA? Like, it doesn't make any sense.
Gladiator
just
DNA.
completely unnecessary.
Oh.
Yeah, I really did not like about it. And that kind of like shits on the legacy of the first movie, I think, a little bit. Like, and you know, this does everything a sequel should do, is kind of like expand on the story, kind of up the ante plot wise and stuff, but it shouldn't detract from the original film. And I think this element definitely detracts from this. I'm like, you know, I want to go back and watch Gladiator and they're going to talk about honor. I'm like, you hypocritical motherfucker. Like, didn't you think that was unnecessary for him to be his biological son?
I don't even care. I don't care for that. Like, there are things that I don't care for, okay? I just think overall the story kind of, like, makes sense.
Yeah, but it was unnecessary.
Yeah, like I said, like, it doesn't...
I mean, the sequel's unnecessary, but I still had a good time with it.
That's true. That's true. I don't know.
Also, a lot of the CGI in it. So, like the CGI, like
the monkey?
Baboons.
Oh yeah.
The super aggressive zombie baboons.
Okay.
Like,
okay. I need to fact check, because does this species actually like exist?
it's a baboon, but I never seen a baboon that is
at that
like.
time?
Well,
with
yeah,
that
I'm
size
sure.
that look that way?
I'm sure they had baboons. I don't think this is historically
It
accurate.
looks like
though.
a robot. It looked like a like a super baboon.
Yeah, it looked like a zombie baboon that was just hyper aggressive. And then the sharks.
I thought I was
Like,
watching Disney movies.
That's why I was saying, like, did Ridley Scott just discover cocaine where they flood the fucking Colosseum with sharks?
Okay, I also need to fact check. Is there ever water
No.
involved in like through the time?
Okay, so people have criticized Ridley Scott for his historical inaccuracies, like with Napoleon and stuff. He's just a grumpy old man. He tells people to fuck off.
Fuck off.
But this is actually important. If this actually takes
A sequel to Gladiator, they're not gonna be about historical accuracy, okay? Like, he just wants to make this movie.
yeah, but at least for me, it has to make sense and to like turn.
There wasn't a real Monkey King.
Who said that? You didn't grow up in my culture.
So yeah, CGI baboons, CGI sharks. Like, I'm okay with like the naval, whatever. You know, just
hey, land animal I can do. Okay, they turn it into aquarium. That is
was that just too much for one step too far?
It's like what?
Yeah.
Like I said, I feel like I'm watching a Disney movie that actually everything can happen.
Yeah, it doesn't really have the battles don't have the same intimate feel as the originals.
Definitely not.
So
Especially after seeing the shark, I'm like, you've got to be joking. Like, in fact, when I see the monkeys, I was already uncomfortable.
they got the Uncanny Valley.
Yeah,
It's like bright CGI monkey. It's very clearly, plainly CGI.
Yeah, because like you sit for a movie and you probably already know that you're there for them to manipulate your brain, right?
Yeah.
To like twist your brain and make you believe like the story happens this way. I feel like it mocked me. That monkey and that shark. I feel like Ridley Scott was like mocking me, my brain. Like, did he expect me to believe this, or like?
Ridley Scott is 85. He don't give a shit. Okay, so overall thoughts and rating.
This might be a 3 out of 5 for me.
Okay, still above average.
Yes, still above average, because there are a few things that I actually like. First of all, the story is actually fuller. It gave me closure on like gave me closure on what happened after the first Gladiator, and I like some like funny stuff happening between twin brothers. I don't know, like Baby Monkey is like big role of the country now. So at least I find my amusement in this movie, right? Personally, I didn't care for the Gladiator character, didn't care for his mom, didn't care for the general. None of those interest me much. I mostly like the emperor, his brother, and the king, and the master.
Yeah.
Right, so I want to say, like, I'm not crazy about this movie. I'm glad I went, and I know what it's about, and it kind of like satisfied my curiosity of what a second Gladiator would look like. But overall, I'm not too impressed.
Okay, I'll go 3.5. I liked it more than I thought I was going to. Denzel Washington killed it. Yeah, I like Paul Mescal. I liked about everyone in this movie. I think where I dock points is like all the CGI bullshit. And like we were just talking about Gladiator, how there's some CGI in it you just can't tell, and this one is fucking blatant, like blatantly obvious. Just Lucius, them doing all the retcon. conning with Lucius being Maximus' son. It just kind of like rubbed me the wrong way. Like it's just completely
Definitely did.
unnecessary. That's like the member berries of this. But yeah, I ended up liking it more than I thought because of the plot. Like the very end, it's kind of like touching like the original almost, like in a way.
It didn't touch me.
It didn't touch you. I'll touch you. I think it's a good companion piece to the original in many ways, but except for the son part, because it kind of makes Maximus look like a hypocrite in the original movie. I think we both give it a thumbs up, right? Okay, Penny's like this, and then I'm like this. So,
but I do want to discuss the Gladiator character. Like I think as soon as we walked out, I told you that I wasn't very impressed at the depth of this character, because the first one it took time to explain what happened to him that lead him to have so much anger and emotion.
Yeah, he got fucked over big time.
And there is a reason, and there is like plot going through, and there's a But this one, in the beginning, he just basically, it's like he didn't even care. He didn't care that he was Lucius. He knew he was, right? As soon as his mom came in, he knew he was he was supposed to be king. But the beginning of it never hinted in any way that he has any feelings about being an abandoned child. It's just like, I have a wife. My wife got killed.
He made his
Like, it's just like, it does not make sense to me. Like easing into the story to set up the story.
I think
correctly.
it was supposed to be like the plot revealing that, oh, he's Lucius from the first movie, because
did he ever
he made his own life all those years, and she didn't know what happened to him. Didn't even know he was alive or dead or anything.
Yes, so. I feel like he didn't care he was supposed to be king. He didn't I didn't feel like any of his anger came from that he was abandoned.
I think he had some resentment towards his mother. I mean, it wasn't like all.
But it wasn't very heavy, but I think it should have been like to adapt into this character, like his anger and his I didn't feel it. It wasn't very powerful to me. It's just like I lost my wife and I snapped the arrow and kept it for the rest of the movie. So that it feels kind of intentional. I feel like that wasn't set up right.
Yeah, I think they didn't have such full characters in the original Gladiator. Like, I think they had a lot of other characters, like side characters, do some of the heavy lifting of characters. So you're not just gonna focus just on this Gladiator this time. You got the Denzel character, you got the Pedro Pascal character, you got the mother, and it's a plot that's kind of like weaves throughout the movie.
Yeah, it feels to me it tells me the story of that time period about like what happened to every of these characters, but it didn't feel like it emphasized on Gladiator and his journey, or at least that was not strong, strong enough for me to feel that way.
Well, that's our review of Gladiator 2. So let us know down in the comments what you thought of it. Make sure to hit that like button, hit that bell icon for more movie reviews, and we'll see you later. Bye.